By saying good morning, family and friends. I see a lot of familiar faces here. Be with you this morning. How appropriate that Friends Across Fort Wayne held this morning, because really what it's going to take is Friends Across Fort Wayne to get me and others elected to City Council.
Right.
We are a collective body of people, as you can see by the diversity here. I like to say we're like a pot of gumbo. When we come together, we do some real good things together. And I hope to be one of those ingredients at the table and be a part of that gumbo to help bring forward a different change here in Fort Wayne. And that we have a tremendous growth spurt going right now. But we have a city council that is not always open and friendly to making sure that everybody is receiving that same growth. Absolutely, any city worth its weight in gold has to have a viable downtown. But we have 4 other quadrants that need that equal amount of attention as well. We have a council, and there are some people, all they know how to say is no. Look at their voting record. We need people at the table that are willing to work together collectively. And working together collectively means you're going to work across party lines. Because it's really not about your party. It's about the people that we serve, you, the constituents. We're supposed to be the voice of the people, and we're supposed to do the good of the community. It's not about ego, it's about a collective effort. So what I bring to the table is 25 years of public service experience. I'm not a person that only has a passion for Fort Wayne. Some of you may know I'm extremely active here in the community and serving our youth and our adults. But I believe in the Summit City. I came back from from California after living there 35 years. And I'm bringing all that experience that I have there right here to Fort Wayne. I've been maintaining a small business downtown for the last 7 years. Ran 4 years ago, did well, but I know with your support and your help that I can cross the line. And your vote won't be in vain. January 1, 2020, I'll be ready to go to work. I'm looking at a comprehensive economic development plan. I'm looking at a plan, although we know that the minimum wage is set at the state level and the federal level, I want to begin to work with corporations here to make them good corporate stewards like Target, raising their minimum wage. You know, I don't necessarily need to be an ordinance, but we need to bring corporations to the table. We have an income disparity gap here in Fort Wayne for our young families and young people. That should be very concerning for all of us. So we need to work to raise the minimum wage here. Secondly, any development project that we have going on, we need to make sure that our constituents are working on those projects. We need to have a local hire initiative with teeth. And the other thing that I want to do, which people don't see how it plays into economic development, but I know that it does, I would like for us to have a strong clergy council. Thursday through Sunday, we have people of faith at the mosque, the church, the temple, and everywhere coming together. And our faith leaders are in tune to what the needs are of our people. I want us to have a strong clergy council. And then secondly, I want to begin to work on, see our gumbo here, our collective, I want our boards and commissions to begin to reflect our city. I want us to start having different people on those commissions and boards and having different voices. So I'm ready to go to work within the first 12 months of being your city council woman at large. You can follow my campaign at michellechambers.info. I'm on Facebook, Michelle Chambers for City Council. I'm on Instagram, Vote Chambers, and Twitter, Vote Chambers. Again, I'm just asking for your support. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to come to your home, your neighborhood, to have a fireside chat with you and your family and friends to share my platform. So thank you for having this event this morning. And my heart is full because you all are here together collectively this morning. But I know that we all can do well together, continue to move the city forward in a direction that's reflective of the entire city. And I have a hand back here.
Yes, I'd like to ask you a question.
Please do.
If you're successful in winning the at-large seat, will you come and visit Hands Across Fort Wayne's workshops and teach us some of the things that you learned in California? And one of them is preparing our young people to be able to go to work. There's a lot of able bodies out there, but the middle and the preparation for taking a job on is the thing that's holding them back. It's not the color. They are looking for experience and skills and what have you, but somewhere along the line, I think we have lost a little bit by thinking drugs and other things are better for us than cleaning ourselves up. We need to be taught, our young people, because you understand the situation with the homes in the black community. And if we teach our kids that, a work ethic, and to be sociable and what have you, I think we can overcome a lot of this and bring us closer together and back.
Absolutely. I thank you for your question. Absolutely, I would be willing to come out to the community and share my experiences. Part of my local hire initiative will be working collectively with the unions, working collectively with the agencies that are already training our young people. I truly believe in our young people. When they know better, they do better. A lot of our children, our young adults, feel helpless and hopeless because they don't have viable income. I believe in our young people. Next Saturday, I'm having a voter engagement event at Hobos for individuals 35 and under to educate them on what does City Council do, because a lot of them don't know what City Council does. Right. We'll have IDAC there to let them know if you have a felony, yes, you still can vote. Why you need to vote, how you vote. I am reaching out and working with young people in my day-to-day life. So absolutely I would come back and share information with friends across Fort Wayne. One of my goals is to have quarterly meetings as a city council woman within the community, not just at your neighborhood monthly meetings, but my own quarterly meetings throughout the entire city. So I'm educating the community on what's going on at City Council and how you can be a part of that process. So anytime somebody will listen to me about economic development, redevelopment, community development, I am here to talk about it and tell you about it and tell you what should be going on that's not going on. So I absolutely welcome that invitation. I will be back, yes.
Hi. I run across a lot of organizations, small organizations that are looking for funding as nonprofit organizations, and it's very difficult for them to access funding even through the city. You know, city programs. It's just everything is just like out there in the cloud. And so, is there a way that you can work with smaller nonprofits and small businesses who want to be a part of the soup, but they need that seed money or they need funding, and no one really knows where to go or what to do?
That's a great
You know
question.
what I'm
I
saying?
actually developed a program where I train nonprofits. And my thing that I give to nonprofits is this, especially when you're first starting out. We have this passion, we want to do everything. But the reality is you cannot. The key to be a successful small nonprofit is collaboration. You're not going to get any grant dollars until you have a history of outcomes. So ideally what you want to do is whatever your area of expertise is, you want to partner with another agency that has a different expertise. So usually I recommend that small nonprofits initially, they have a larger nonprofit, they'll come up under their umbrella, provide their services, they're just your fiscal manager. You get that 2 years under your belt of providing services, and then you can step out and begin to do things on your own. But the key for small nonprofits to be successful is collaboration. And I would be happy to come out and share and talk with smaller nonprofits on what that looks like. So oftentimes people hear the name nonprofit and it feels like you're not supposed to make money or have a profit. That is not the case. It takes money to be of service, to roll out your services that you're trying to. You've got to be able to get that money through private and public donations.
Right, but and part of the second part of the question is, well, then once they get to that point, the difficulty is finding the foundations and the resources that have the money. So once they have all those pieces in place, it's how is there a way that you can help these nonprofits to access the funds? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but really it's a part of whether it happens through the city, where you have a portal where all of those funding opportunities, including the city and county funding opportunities, are in a central place. I can't think of the agency that's working on that right now, where they're bringing together all the funding opportunities in one portal, so you can go there and look to see how you can apply for that. So the conversations are being had, the technology is there, but again, it needs to be in a centralized place where people know where to go to tap into
That's
it.
what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about what you're doing for youth or your ideas of youth. What is your feeling as to what Fort Wayne has to offer 50 and over?
For 50 and over, the reality is 50 and over is our new workforce. I'm 51. And I'm looking at doing a career change after I become a councilwoman. We are a very viable workforce. Just because we're 50 and older doesn't mean we have to go out to the pasture. We have a lot to offer our upcoming young people. So being in position to apply for and not deal with age discrimination, we have to shift the culture within corporations and within the community that you have a wealth of knowledge on, I call us seasoned workers. You know?
That's right.
These 25 years of public service experience that I have could be of use to someone. What I have found is that we lack in mentoring. We drop the baton. You know, in our season, sometimes we forget to put that baton out there and bring the next generation along. So we have to work collectively to educate the community that seasoned 50 and over workers are an asset to your corporation. So just working collectively with changing the culture of ageism and taking advantage of that seasoned worker. Yes, Benita.
I have a question or something that possibly you'll consider as a part of your platform. But Southeast Fort Wayne has an excessive amount of vacant lots, basically from demolition of houses that are considered blemishes to the neighborhood. And the city typically, from looking at some of those demolition contracts, they're paying anywhere from $6,000 to $8,000 to bring those houses down. I'd like to see, one, a demolition ordinance that slows the city down as far as demolishing our few remaining houses that make up the character of Southeast Fort Wayne. And then at the same time, those dollars that they have to tear them down, why is it that those dollars cannot go into initial renovation and at least bring the house up to the point where someone else can come in and buy it and then further rehab the house so that folks could live in it? But right now, with the way the city is set up now, as far as hands or the community development organization is concerned, once that house reaches, or once that building reaches the demolition list, it's kind of like just pretty much a formality before it comes down, because they're not giving any consideration to someone taking responsibility for that house or that structure and then rehabbing it and making it livable or usable again.
Usually when a home is reached to the point where it's going to be demolished, it's been sitting for a lot of years. And I do have some experience in construction. Customarily, when the home's in those conditions, to rehab them, they're usually going down to the studs.
And
so
that's fine.
But $6,000 or $8,000 is not going to get you there. You want to. My goal is when you're, and what you're saying, when you demolish, have something in place to replace it. So what we need to be doing is having conversations with real estate investors who have the money to come in to flip the houses, to put new structures there that can be viable and affordable for our families to be able to move into. But that requires the public and the private sector working together. The city only has so much in resources. That's the bottom line. And we have to go across the board and do our due diligence and making sure we're doing right with those dollars. Now, when you eliminate those homes, you are eliminating blight, you are eliminating health issues, and you are eliminating the potential for those homes to become squatter places and bad things that happen in those homes. But I agree with you, part of that ordinance should have been, we should have had something in place to replace the homes that are being torn down. But that would take a public-private partnership.
Okay. Well, pretty much what I was saying was that $6,000 or whatever it is, that's not to rehab the house. That's maybe just to take care of the roof, that kind of thing, just to keep it from going to basically failing that much more.
Right.
But not a total rehab. And as far as taking buildings to studs, that happens all the time. And that's basically what they did down there on the landing. Those buildings were gutted pretty much.
And that was a strong public-private partnership.
Right, and they used a whole lot of dollars that came from East Central, because downtown is next to East Central. They took East Central, basically having the setting those dollars available because it was low income, and then they because they're adjacent to downtown, and they took the dollars and put it in the landing, but didn't put it in East Central. So all I'm saying is, before we just tear everything down, and Southeast Fort Wayne is full of, vacant
Abandoned.
lots, but you go to any other neighborhood and that's not the case. You have houses stacked on top of one another. And then, and I'm gonna shut up after this, but then after we get the new stock, basically the new stock is not characteristic of what Southeast Fort Wayne
And this
looks
is why
like.
we have to have people sitting on the boards from
I
the
agree with
communities
that.
that they're being
Absolutely.
developed, so you can be there to hold them accountable for the appropriate stock to be rebuilt.
Right.
Hence why we have to have a council person at the
agree
table
with you.
who will be reaching out to the community to put them
Yep.
on the planning commission,
Right.
the public works commission, and so
Right.
forth and so on. We gotta work